Sadly, due to a technical error, I've misplaced my clip that fits onto my tripod that holds my camera. So I'm doing this handheld. So sorry if it's a little bit shaky. Mainly because if I prop this little tripod up, all you will see is this grey wall, and there's only a Dawn of the Dead poster and my skateboard on there. So, while this is handheld and I'm trying to keep it steady, which is not going very well, this video is going to be a quick one. It's not going to be a long 30-minute one. Basically, I was thinking about this. People talking about, you see all these collectors that are, they seem to have, even British collectors, I know, seem to have bottomless pits of money and are able to import all the 4K Scream Factories and Vinegar Syndrome and stuff like that. Apparently they have no mortgage or bills to pay because they can spend all this money on these extravagant titles. Now, don't get me wrong, if I had the wad of cash to be able to afford all of these amazing 4K ultra limited editions from like Scream Factory or Blue Underground or Vinegar Syndrome or stuff like that, I would happily buy the films that I wanted. I wouldn't necessarily buy an entire collection because that is a lot of films, and most of the ones are probably ones that I'm not a fan of. I did own quite a few Scream Factories before when like Mad Max came out and Escape from New York, They Live. What else did I have? Christine. The Thing. No, did I have The Thing? No, I didn't have The Thing. No, I didn't have The Thing. But they've gone. I think I've got two. I think I've maybe got Battle Beyond the Stars, which I've kept, and shit, what's the name of the film? It's got Roy Scheider and Alec Baldwin in it. About two hitmen. That was pretty good. Cohen and Tate. There we go. That's the one. So I was thinking, like, instead of spending all this money on the high def versions of these films from the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, there must be another way to get these films in a high definition sort of format without having to stream, and that won't cost or break the bank. So, is it worth getting all of these Scream, Vinegar Syndrome movies? Not necessarily Vinegar Syndrome, because I know that they cater more for like the kind of more obscure, arty kind of exploitation films from the 70s and stuff, whereas Scream Factory is primarily for horror movies and like 80s greats and stuff. I think they've just released what was it, Roadhouse. There's also like Arrow's released a lot of stuff. So Arrow and Scream Factory are very similar. In fact, I'd say they're probably the most obvious competitors to one another. But while looking, I say this in every video, I say while looking through my collection, I found a few films. Well, I didn't find a few films, they were on the shelf, I knew they were there. But it got me thinking, and I know a lot of people are saying things about how physical media is dying, and hold on to these films, or these films have never been released out like on physical media. Now that's not true. You're just not looking in the right place. Now what I mean by that is, this film is one of these films that pops up on the lists of films that you cannot find, along with Cocoon, and I think there's like a few others. It's Catherine Bigelow's Strange Days. Now this is a Blu-ray copy of Strange Days. In fact, this is a DVD and Blu-ray 2-disc limited edition. Film looks great in high def. Looks pretty good on DVD as well. But the high definition version of this, it looks pretty good. Like, but how have I got it if it's not available on Blu-ray? Well, it is available on Blu-ray. I'm holding it, and this is a legitimate copy. This is the Region B German release Blu-ray special edition. This one itself, I believe, is now out of print. However, there is another version of the German Blu-ray, which is €9.99 or €9.99 from Amazon.de, the German Amazon site. Now, the German Amazon site is amazing. Now, I looked this up just a minute ago, and this particular one is out of print, so I think it's going for like $29.99 or something like that. But there is a $9.99 version still available, which I believe is just the just the Blu-ray release on its own. So, like, it is available, and all these so-called, I say so-called because they're not so-called, they are collecting films. All these film collectors, or all these Blu-ray collectors, physical media collectors, I know you have to have the best version. You do. But come on. If you can't get Strange Days imported from Amazon Germany to Amazon.com and then shipped to you for very little in the way of price of shipping, because it's not going through customs, it's going warehouse to warehouse, so you wouldn't have to pay a customs charge on it. What is stopping you from getting this? Oh, I'll wait for the 4K to come out. There's no guarantee the 4K is going to come out. But for now, you've got a high definition Blu-ray that is available at a reasonable or manageable or even cheap price point. Strange Days. I have a Blu-ray of Strange Days, yet everyone's saying it's not available. Now, I use Amazon Germany for a lot of stuff. This is another one that I picked up, which was fairly cheap. And I picked it up because the Scream Factory release was unattainable at $29.99. I guess. I'm not sure how I'm British, so this video, I guess, is probably going to be mainly for British collectors who are unsure, or whether or not they don't want to go and buy a hacked multi-region Blu-ray player, or buy a Region A Blu-ray player, because I bought a hacked Region 3 Blu-ray player, and it didn't last very long, which is why I don't really own that many Region A titles anymore. Some of the ones that I have kept are the ones that, like, maybe one day I will pick it up. But another one that I picked up from Amazon Germany is The Blob, or in the German language, Der Blob. Now this cost me $8.99. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, the limited special edition of Strange Days was £7.99 when I bought it. €7.99 or £7.99 when I changed the currency. The Blob was $8.99. This is pretty much exactly the same as the Scream Factory release. Has exactly the same reversible artwork. Really cool back cover. Great transfer on this. It looks fantastic. Like, absolutely fantastic transfer. And this is The Blob. $8.99 this cost me. I imported it from Germany at, I think it was like €2 for shipping. And I didn't get any extra charges. Now, I've ordered stuff in the past from Asia and America, and both times I've been absolutely slaughtered by import tax. I remember I pre-ordered and bought the first series of the television show Jericho, which came out in 2005. One of my favourite shows of all time. It's about a full-on nuclear attack on America, and it follows the lives of a town of people in the town of Jericho and how they cope with the aftermath and things that escalated afterwards. Now, that cost me $29.99 when I pre-ordered it. No, $34.99, I think it was. When I had it shipped to the UK, the import tax was £18. £18. Luckily, it did actually finally get a UK release, but this is what I'm saying. Like, why would I pay? I'm not going to pay $30 or $47, which I saw this for, $47.99 to import a film that I can just go to Amazon.d and buy for $8.99. The Blob, yeah, The Blob. Also, such a good film. This next one, Snowpiercer. A phenomenal movie. Bong Joon-ho, just such a good film. Chris Evans is great in it. Tilda Swinton is fantastic. It's got John Hurt. It's got Ed Harris. It's, again, post-apocalyptic, based on a graphic novel. Such a good film. Why did it take till 2020 for it to get a UK release? This is the French release. And this isn't my first release of this that I've owned. I owned the Region 1 release. Or the Region... I say it was Region A. It wasn't Region A. It was Region B. No, it was Region 3. I think it was released by Miramax. I think they're Region 3. But there was an issue with the disc, and the disc stopped working. So I went on to Amazon France, and I got Snowpiercer. How much did I pay for Snowpiercer? $5.99 and £2.70 shipping. So it cost me less than £10 for a film that took almost 7 years. Well, it did take 7. Well, it took 6 years for it to get a release in the UK. And now the UK release goes for $7.99. Like, this is such a good film. Such a good film. And I own it. Because instead of like faffing about and waiting for the UK to release it, I was able to just go and buy it online with a cool cover for almost next to nothing. Invaders from Mars. This is the Toby Hooper version from 1983. This, again, this has never had a release on Blu-ray in the UK. Never had a release on Blu-ray in the UK. It's had a release in America. This, again, like I said before, is the German release. It's released by Koch Media. It's Hollywood Classics. It's not the best film. It's okay. It's not as good as the original 1949 version or 1950 version. But again, Shout Factory released that. It's now out of print. When it came out, it was $39.99 or $39.99. That cost me £4. And this one, this is one that I wanted for years. I have 2 copies of this on DVD. One's a Region A, one's a Region B. The reason I have 2 is because I misplaced the Region B, the Region 2 DVD, and imported the Region 1 DVD, then found the Region 2 DVD. But I love this. I usually watch this around the same time as binge watching Jericho and Survivors and the horrendously horrific film, which not in a bad way, but the film is actually shocking. Like Threads. I watched Threads. This is the day after. This is the Region B Blu-ray. In fact, I don't even think it's Region B. It's all Region, in fact. Oh, no, it is Region B, sorry. The day after. Television event movie from 1984. I love this. It's a great cast in it. Jason Robards, Steve Guttenberg, Bernie Casey, from Nicholas Meyer, the guy who wrote, I want to say Wrath of Khan, and then directed follow-ups. No, he actually directed Wrath of Khan as well, if I remember rightly. And then did like the better Star Trek original cast movies. Sorry, couldn't think of what they were called, which is weird because I'm a movie channel. But the day after, this again, never had a Blu-ray release in the UK. Can never seeing it have a Blu-ray release in the UK. I think it had maybe a US release. I'm not 100% sure, but this was $13.99 from Amazon Germany. I know I seem to be praising Amazon Germany quite a lot. Well, Amazon Germany is my go-to place. It's the place where I picked up like a copy of Heat for like £7. I mean, it's $7.99 now, but like I picked up a copy of Heat on Blu-ray because I've never owned it on Blu-ray. And this, Little Monsters, Aussie zombie comedy with Lupita Nyong'o and Josh Gad. Great, fun little zombie movie. Saw this on Now TV here in the UK. When I paid for Now TV, I don't pay for Now TV anymore because it's shit. Again, this was I think $9.99. It's in a slipcase and everything. It's a really good little movie. Great Blu-ray, looks fantastic. Like Amazon Germany is fantastic for getting stuff that you can't really get from any other, like, that you'll end up paying more for if you get from America. And I'm not saying you shouldn't import from the US. Do, by all means, if you've got a multi-region Blu-ray player, by all means, like, import, keep it going, just import the Screen Factories. That's absolutely fine, not a problem with that whatsoever. This is more for the people who are unsure whether or not to spend the money out on a multi-region Blu-ray player or importing a Blu-ray player from America to play region A movies. Save yourself a bit of money. You might want the Shout Factory or Screen Factory release, but it might be a little bit too expensive for you. Go to Amazon Germany, Amazon France, Amazon Spain. You can get these films. Amazon.co.uk is not a great place to get films because the prices are usually a little bit higher than they are. So, for example, The Day After on Amazon.co.uk is £18. On Amazon Germany, it's £13. So there's a big £5 difference there, and the £18 is not including the shipping. So you're looking at £20, just over £20. So for, again, the same price, shipping from Germany, you're still saving a £5. That £5 can then go towards another film, another Blu-ray, anything. So I have a lot of German Blu-rays because it is my go-to place to find movies that I cannot find or cost too much from America. Those were just a few examples. But, like, and I've shown these before. Listen, all 3 Beverly Hills Cop movies, they were cheap. They weren't very expensive, and I have them all as individual releases because I'm one of those people. I'd rather have an individual release of a trilogy. I don't like when they do like a trilogy 3-pack. It's not really my cup of tea. I like to have films that are in a trilogy individually. Unless it's something like Star Wars, then you have a complete box set of that, which I have 2 of. Like another one that I've got as an import would be Land of the Dead. Yes, this is a region. This is American Blu-ray. This is the only copy of Land of the Dead I own because there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. Do I want the British Special Edition? Yeah. Do I want to spend money on it? Not really. I've got it. And one film, I was not gonna actually get this one, but this is a film that I saw a long time ago and I absolutely loved. And I looked everywhere for it. I say a long time ago. It's quite a new film. I looked everywhere for it. It's never had a Blu-ray release in the UK. It had a DVD release, and that DVD is now out of print. It goes for £19 on Amazon. Couldn't find it anywhere. I don't think it's had a release in America either. But I couldn't find this anywhere, and I decided, you know what? I'll have a look on Amazon Germany, just out of curiosity. And I found it. This is called These Final Hours. This is a fantastic end-of-the-world drama, thriller from Australia, from, I think it's 2014? 2014. Could not find this anywhere. I managed to find... the reason I knew of this film and I had seen it previously is because I'd obviously done the naughty thing and torrented it, and I don't really recommend torrenting anything because we want to keep these bad boys going, and we want to keep the blue boxes and the shiny discs and everything going. But this is why importing is important if you can afford it. Like, this is cheap. I think it was like £8. Couldn't find it anywhere else apart from Amazon Germany. That was at an affordable price, but Amazon Germany had it for £8. So, should you go multi-region? Yeah, if you want. If you can afford to, by all means. Get yourself a multi-region Blu-ray player. Import everything you want. I just look to the side, because I've got the TV on next to me, but I've got the sound bar turned off. I just look to the side, and it's an Indiana Jones video. Pretty cool. See? Unfortunately, that's not pretty cool. That's Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, by all means, import everything. If you can afford it and you don't find yourself getting into the habit of buying everything and putting yourself into debt and finding that you've got no room and that you're overrun with Blu-rays, that's literally like... When you get to that point, you end up like me. Right, this is a stack of DVDs that I have nowhere to put. Again, up here is all DVDs. Don't look at the ceiling, whatever you do. And then again, in the corner over there is more DVDs. So I'm overrun with them. And that's not even half of the DVDs. That's like a third, maybe, or maybe a quarter. That might be a quarter of the DVDs that I have. Now I'm going to try and have to get them, and it's something I don't want to do, but I'm going to have to condense my collection into folders, especially with the DVDs. I'm not going to do it with the Blu-rays because these are the ones that I want to have on display, but I'm going to have to because I just have no more room. But like I was saying, if you can afford to buy a multi-region Blu-ray player or import a region A Blu-ray player from the States, by all means, do. Like, I'm not telling you not to. What I'm saying is for those who aren't 100% sure and don't want to spend a lot of money on a Blu-ray player, then spend a lot of more money on importing movies to watch on that Blu-ray player. You can buy a normal standard Blu-ray player. You can buy an Xbox. You can buy an Xbox One for like £150, and that'll play games as well and connect to the internet. I know Blu-ray players can connect to the internet. But there are options out there for you if you don't want to spend all the money under the sun. Like, I've just proved to you that I managed to get these cult movies that have been released by these huge boutique labels in the States that are higher priced. And I'm not talking about the 4K, I'm talking about just the standard Blu-rays. These are all high definition transfers. They look fantastic on a massive high definition or HD TV, and they cost a fraction of what you'd end up paying. So if you're unsure, have a look around. See if there's a film that you want, but you don't want to spend the $40 to get it imported, but you don't mind spending like $10 or €10 on a German Blu-ray. Just do that. Shop around. Because you're still buying physical media. You're still buying the stuff that we love. Anyway, sorry for the shaky and all the random blah like stuff. I have to use the front-facing camera on my phone, and there's no video stabilization, so I'm trying to keep my arms as still as possible. Now, if I flip the other way, I wouldn't be able to see the screen, and I wouldn't be able to know where I was actually looking. But if I did that, I would be able to use the stabilizer. So what I'm going to do is just say thank you, everyone. Check out Nerdy Geezer's channel, because I was on another No Late Fees podcast where we talked about the best and worst films of 2023. I'll be back soon with another video. And thank you, everyone, for subscribing, for all the great comments and stuff. I'll leave you now. This is actually a short video. It's 24 minutes. I thought it was going to be 15, but you know me, I waffle. So throw up the peace sign. Peace.